showtime.
Who are these socials?
Taking down the other podcasts one by one.
Who are these socials?
That clip is why people make fun of you.
With Karl.
This is all just for the radio.
And Blind Mike.
We have a lot of business to take care of.
Who are these socials?
We are the number one podcast on the internet today.
WATS.
Welcome to yet another episode of WATS, the show thousands of people come to answer the age-old question, what's the deal with social media? This is the only show about social media that took a week off to solve the immigration kerfluffle. I'm your host, Karl Hamburger. With me, as usual, is Mike Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike. What's up, Mike?
Guys, let me know if Karl is showcasing his legs again. I hate when he does that.
Yes, I've been accused a few times now, but it does get us $50 super tip, so there's that.
Ooh, all right, keep doing.
There are rumors going around that the reason we were off last week is because Mike was holding out for more money and that I won't read your super chats. The latter is simply not true. I will read every super chat, and if you want to enjoy our super tip system, that is also available for you fine folks. Go to supertip.gg/WATP. You not only support the show, you participate in the show. Unlike Chad Zumach, we have more than 3 voices to choose from. If you go to supertip.gg/WATP, and we do very much appreciate everyone's participation in the show. Thank you for being here, watching. And Mike, glad to have you back, buddy. It's been 2 weeks. I missed you.
And you, pal. It really
so
has
much.
Every time we take a week off, people are like, "Is the show canceled?" I'm like,
Yeah, I probably should have announced it somewhere.
I guess
Probably would have helped.
have a little more faith in us.
A little communication probably would have been a good thing.
I didn't realize every time, it's every time we don't do a show that people are like, "Well, this thing was hanging on by a thread, anyways."
Yeah, right. Like I knew they'd stop doing this. A waste of everyone's time. Mike, I feel like we've already gotten into a section of the show before announcing it,
Oh, jeez,
which is not how this show operates.
Oh, I'm
at
sorry.
all. We have to announce what we're doing and, of course, also play a stinger for it.
Karl and Mike gonna talk about what they like. They're gonna chew the shit, as it's been said. And you know when you get to this part of the show, well, it's time for the banter. 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 All right.
That's right. This is the banter section of the show. This is where Mike and I get caught up. And boy, do we have a lot to get caught up on. A lot's been happening in your world between
That's
your
true.
buddy Kirk Minahan and Dave Portnoy, who hates your guts.
Yeah, how did I get roped into this?
That was so funny.
I'm not a filthy Jew.
That was so funny when he's like, I've never seen you this angry before. And he goes, only Blind Mike gets me this angry.
I know.
I know you have that kind of control over your former employer.
I don't understand. I'm gonna go over it and try to diagnose it on my program on Sunday. But I'm certainly not blameless in all of this. I just don't understand his level of hatred for me because I think it was cold for a while. I think the rivalry was cold because there were a couple times where he's like, "Nah, I don't mind Blind Mike," and then all of it, like the last few times my name has come up, it's complete despise.
I think he's having fun with it, but I don't know if you caught
Yeah, he is.
I don't know if you caught the segment that we did on WATP yesterday about it.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. I was really enjoying Kirk kind of egging it on. He's like,
It might be
yeah.
my favorite thing.
so
I
funny.
used to get so uncomfortable and hang. No, stop it! Don't do that. Now I love where my favorite thing is when Dave was like, "Blind Mike just doesn't know when to," and Kirk goes, "Absolutely." Like shakes his head, like I know what you mean, man. He does it to me.
Yeah. It's really funny. I don't know that Dave knows what he's doing.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So that's very enjoyable. But yeah, I thought that was great. On the segment we did on WATP, we broke down the initial argument where Dave lost his mind and thought you can't make jokes about Jewish people right now.
Sure, yeah. They're
And
dying. Don't you know?
I know. And every joke kills another Jewish person somehow. Oh my God, it was so. How many people have to die? What? Anyway,
When does freedom of speech impinge on freedom of religion?
yeah, that didn't make any sense either. And Kirk's just like, I don't know, man.
What are we doing?
I don't know. But we kind of reviewed how a week of that, the cycle came and went, where Dave's now having people yell "Kill the Jews" at him when he's just doing his pizza review shows.
It was just fuck the Jews. You can let
Yeah,
them live,
yeah,
I think.
right. Yeah, it's much nicer.
Yeah.
Just fuck the Jews. Well, speaking of things going viral, a friend of ours went viral as well. In fact, I have pulled up right here a subreddit that we've talked about before. I'm the main character.
Oh yes.
We've talked about this one before. And Joey C was featured
Oh, good for him.
on this video right here. He's going viral. Joey C.
Huh? Call you? I can't hear you. I don't know.
I broke my neck.
You broke your neck? Call an ambulance? I'm doing a live stream. If I do that, I'll have someone call. Hey, call an ambulance, somebody, for this guy.
Only Joey C can pull that off. Just the perfect delivery. Oh, you need an ambulance, broke your neck? Well, look, I'm not the guy to talk to because I'm streaming to 12 people right now.
Maybe if you go to supertip.gg/Joey C,
Right.
I can help you.
7th Avenue and 39th Street. He needs an ambulance. He's at the bus stop. 7th Avenue, North 39th Street, Tampa, Florida. So it's east.
Should all of us
sorry.
call an ambulance?
Yeah.
Or you just need one of us?
I
to
thought
assign
someone
this?
was with him. He's telling us to call?
Yeah, no, he's telling the people watching to call an ambulance. 'Cause he
Hi,
can't hop off the live
911.
stream.
Oh, this is Massachusetts 911. How do I get to where Joey C is?
Yeah, good point. It's not going to really direct you to where you need to go.
7th Avenue and North 39th Street. He's at the bus stop. He's on the north side of the street at the bus stop. He said he broke his neck.
So I talked to Joey C since this.
Okay.
He came on the show on Monday on Point Dabble Point. And he made it seem like he wasn't concerned about this person at all. He was like, I was scared of this person. They were probably going to take advantage of me if I walked over to help them. And then they got up and ran away. It doesn't seem like on this stream that that's the case. He's giving out the information. He's letting people know they should call an ambulance and where to send them to.
Yeah, well, I guess you should be skeptical. We're skeptical of all people now, so I understand his...
Especially the neighborhood that he lives in, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I understand the weird spot he's in where he's like, I'm going to look like an asshole on this live stream if I don't help this lady, but she's probably a phony baloney.
Well, it is a guy. It sounds like a
guy,
lady.
this fella, sorry.
It is a guy, but I don't think that's what's going through his head.
Okay.
I don't think that's...
Well, you know Joey
all.
C better than I do.
Yeah, I think he's just sitting there going, no, I'm using my phone for another thing right now. I don't have two phones. I don't know what you want me to do. Find someone with two phones who's streaming, and then they'll call an ambulance.
Like he's Mr. Beast. Like this stream can't be ended.
The other viral moment that we haven't gotten to on this show yet, because we did take a week off, is this YouTuber, this rivalry in Vegas. Did you see this or hear about it?
I don't know.
Okay. I have a video for us here, but let me just read what Robo Shitstain wrote about it in our Discord server. Give you a little background. It says, middle-aged Z-lister YouTube IRL streamer, Sin City Manny, ends an online feud with bullets and a public double homicide on the Las Vegas Strip by killing rival fellow YouTube old head Z-lister Finney the Legend and his wife over a years-long dispute involving Finney going after Manny and his family as a pet locale project for profit. Finney's channel, with under 6,500 subscribers, primarily focused on fantasy football, walking around Fremont Street, and going after Sin City Manny's family as his pet locale. Finney had days' worth of streams clowning on Manny, who is known for wearing Joker makeup in his videos, and his family's vlogs. Making a small sum of super chat money from a dedicated circle of trolls, Finney had also been recently struck and demonetized for repeatedly taunting Manny's family.
I don't understand. Wasn't Hackamania last month? How was
right? I know. I thought that's when bullets would be flying at Hackamania. But, Mike, I guess things get personal in this world.
So this is all very serious. Listen, Jews are dying. This is very serious stuff.
Yes. Yeah. What about us live streamers?
Yes. It's all very important.
No one cares about us. Well, anyway, this is a short video, but what someone's done is they put together, because both people were live streaming this event because they're out. They're live streamers. They're out there live streaming. They're walking around.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. And it's crazy because the shooter was live streaming his way to find them. He was looking all around, and of course he's watching their stream to figure out where they are so that he can confront them. And it went down like this. So there's the victim looking into the camera, making sure that you can see him. And
thanks, Donut.
You see the shooter's getting closer. There he is right there. The wife confronts him.
Jesus.
And he shoots them. And then what we don't see after that is him putting a bullet into the wife's head. Right after that. That's crazy.
Not that God only knows how I would react in that situation. But are you kidding me? Is an odd thing to yell, as if he would be like,
"You're taking this too far, sir."
As if he'd be like, "I know, I'm being a little ridiculous. I'm sorry."
I think you're overreacting to this situation, sir. You got a strike on your YouTube channel. I understand that's depressing, but there are other ways to deal with this.
Now, of course, that video does end crazy, but all I could think of in the lead up to it is how unnecessarily loud Fremont Street is.
I know. Well, that's on the
someone
strip.
quieted them down.
Yeah, that's actually on the strip in front of like a real casino. Okay. But
right.
Yeah, it is obnoxious. But yeah, a lot going down in the world of social media. Of course, a lot of people capturing things on the streets of LA and in New York. There was a video I was watching. It wasn't exciting enough, but this guy, one of these live streamers in LA, and he's filming all of these protesters, we'll call them, who broke into a jewelry store and were looting it. And he's watching all these people run in and run out. And some guy's just like, "Hey, you fucking narc, you filming?" And they beat him up and take all of his equipment. Which is why you don't want to have your phone out filming when people are robbing.
The worst part is it was Joey C again. This guy has
Joey!
the worst luck.
He's like, oh no, it's okay. There's only like 8 people watching. It's I don't care.
I'm streaming right now. I can't turn it off.
All right. Thank you so much for being here, supporting the show.
Yay, super chats.
The best way to do that is the way that Dame Taft has done that over on supertip.gg/WATP.
Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh, that fucking whore.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack burn off his fucking dick. Kabago Gigi.
Little boy blue, he needed the money. Oh!
Mary, quite contrary, trim that pussy. It's too damn hairy. Oh.
Yeah, there's something about Dice's delivery that makes those work. I don't know that Adam Bush.
It's not quite the same, I guess.
I don't know that Adam Bush can pull it off, but
I'd like to
I
see
like it though. Thanks, Dame Taft. Anonymous comes in, $3. Pretty ironic how Portnoy gets blinded by rage.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, maybe you start throwing a wallet in his face.
Ah.
Hellraiser, 69, $5. Now that Blind Mike is here, Carl, let's hear those Jew jokes you promised us. Yeah, now that Adam Bush is gone, let's get into it. Rocco Orby 2002, $5 says, this is so we can buy Mike a magnifying glass so he can do a better at his job. Or at least that's what a disgruntled gent said yesterday.
He was very angry about the magnifying glass. It's like, well, it used to help me see. Now I'm too blind to even use that.
But then he did say, he goes, and it doesn't even matter that he's blind. He's a terrible employee anyway.
Right, yeah, focus on that part.
Right.
I was a terrible employee. That's what you should be bashing me for.
He really let you have it. And it was funny because the way you came up was because Michelangelo said shit. Was talking shit about Dave. They're like, this ex-employee, just like, yeah, he pisses me off. Just like Blind Mike, that guy pisses me off too, like out of nowhere.
I think he thinks I do that, and that like he's under the impression
I wonder why he'd think that, because Kirk tells him you do that.
Well, true. But no, on his own, he thinks that I hate Barstool. I don't think he realizes, like, I'm still there. I'm on a show a couple times a week.
You're pretty involved. Harpua, I heard Dave Portnoy called Mike an asshole. Mike, comment?
I've made my comment. And more on Sunday.
Yeah, watch the Blind Mike Project this Sunday at 10 a.m. Mike will be breaking it all down.
Yes.
Bobby Costa, $2 says Portnoy was right about this punk. Yeah, well.
I'm a Bobby Costa guy. I don't think he believes that. Shout out Flop University.
I might have to break ties with you, Mike. You're getting too toxic for me.
Walls are crumbling in.
Mike Grissman gifted a Who Are These Podcast membership. Thank you very much for gifting a membership. We do appreciate that. On this channel, when you become a member, you do get 2 bonus episodes every month, and you can watch WATP live or anytime thereafter. Just go to the membership tab, and you'll see all the links right there. All right, Mike, we have a fun game that we play on this show because you can't see real good, and I can. So I like to take advantage of that with a little game that we call Guess the Sound.
Can Mike guess the sound from this clip that Karl has found?
This one comes in from Robo Shitstain MK9000 in our Discord. And Mike, I want you to listen closely and try to figure out what is happening in this social media video that we're all watching.
Oh, she finna park on my mama. Damn, what's happening?
A woman is begging Joey C to call 911.
A different video. We've moved on from that, Mike. We got a whole different video that we're watching now.
No, it does sound like a woman in some kind of distress, but it's clearly funny based on the gentleman filming.
Right.
It's not a dire situation.
Correct. Okay, good.
I'm going to say something is on her. She got something disgusting on her. It seems because I don't hear an animal or anything. So I'm going to say it's something maybe shit related.
So you think maybe it's something like this?
Look, he fucking nutted on my fucking leg.
Perfect.
Like
yeah.
Well, Mike, that is incorrect, my friend.
All right.
This is actually a deaf woman getting into a road rage altercation at a traffic stop.
Never in my wildest dreams.
Yeah. Now that you know that's a deaf woman screaming out the window of her car, let's hear that again.
Okay. That didn't read to me as deaf. I've never heard someone quite that incoherent.
Really? Usually deaf people don't scream at other people. I think that's why.
Maybe that's why, yeah.
That's probably why. Let's head over to...
Look at this tweet now.
This came in from my buddy Drew Lane from the Drew Lane Show. This is hysterical. So there's a bunch of guys here, and they've set up this scheme for sports betting. They've decided they're going to bet against Angel Reese making her first shot.
Okay.
So they bet 6 games in a row, and their bet is Angel Reese will miss her first shot.
Nice.
And they recorded it, and there's a lot of money on this. There's a lot of money riding on this. So let's see how this went down.
Be a millionaire. We're good.
Bro, we got this. I'm not stressed, bro.
Big city.
Here it is. She's going to miss. Fuck!
The audio's not great, but okay. So they're watching the first game. She made a layup. So they lost that bet. Okay.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Come on,
bro.
What are we doing?
This is a terrible start. Lock the fuck in. Be better.
Damn
Everybody, dig deep.
Be worse, please. What do you mean be better? Please be worse.
We gotta be better. We gotta be better.
We have to know what's going on.
This is why we're losing. We're not taking it serious enough.
Come on, man.
I'm not locked.
You're clearly not.
Day 2, boys. Day 2.
I realize the audio's not great, but you can see how excited they are.
Here we go.
All right, day 3.
Here it is.
Easy money, easy money.
Game number 3. She's right underneath the basket. Oh, she misses again. You went for Angel Reese. You're invested. Now it says that they bet $250,000 to win $475,000. I don't know if that's the case or not, but they seem very excited. So it could be.
Yeah, right.
All right, here's day 4 of betting on Angel Reese to miss her first shot.
Here we go, baby. Day 4.
She's wide open. She gets the ball underneath the basket, and it's blocked.
Miss.
Day 5. I wish the audio was better because they are pumped. Day 6, here we go.
Day 6, baby. Day 6. We're feeling good. We're feeling good. Here we go. Here it is.
Bricklayer.
Here it is.
Take a long shot from outside. Oh, doesn't even hit the basket. Air ball. So I don't want to encourage sports gambling. I think it ruins people's lives. But if you want to gamble on sports, betting on Angel Reese to miss the shot is probably a pretty solid bet.
All I was thinking there in that was I think Caitlin Clark gets too much credit for like the popularity of the WNBA now, and degenerate gamblers don't get nearly enough.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think it's much more about that. Maybe they found new things to bet on.
Yeah, these guys would probably identify as Angel Reese fans.
In a way, like I'm a Brendan Schaub fan. Yeah,
right. They're watching every game. They're on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Brendan Schaub, I'm obsessed with now. He hates Texas. He fucking hates Texas. Every day it's a new complaint.
They're going solely because Rogan is there years after everyone else. Like, there's no reason for them to be there now.
And their new studio sucks.
Oh, really?
It's so bad. All right. Here's something that came in from number 1, Kumia Cuck. Biting commentary on Donald Trump. I guess there's a new trend that's been going on where there's a specific order at Taco Bell that makes fun of Donald Trump. Did you hear about this?
No.
Yeah, these people on Twitter seem to think that it makes Donald so mad when he sees this.
Oh, I didn't know what these tweets were. I did see something. I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, they're really trying to push this to get at our president.
Okay.
With this stuff.
Hi, I'd just like to get 2 tacos, please.
What kind of tacos?
Can I get the Donald J. Trump specials? That's the Doritos Locos with extra chicken.
You get it, Mike?
Because it's orange?
Well, it's Loco. And it's chicken.
Wait, it's Dorito because he's orange. And
okay. I didn't get that far. Okay, there's three jokes. Wow. It's too many jokes. Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, the what again? I'm sorry?
2 of the Doritos Locos with extra chicken. That's the Donald J. Trump special.
If you have to say both,
Is
the
this the
joke doesn't
regular
really
thing?
work.
That's correct.
What do you mean?
Well, he has to say it both ways, both times.
yeah.
He goes, "Can I get the Donald J. Trump special?" That's the Doritos, and then he gives the real order.
Yep.
So the lady could take the order very easily. There's no confusion.
Yeah. You think this is flat? You don't think this prank is working on our president? Is that what you're saying?
Stupid. I'm gonna have to re-record an episode of Why You Laughing that I did about Sam Hyde. But I was like, how is it taking people 10 years to start asking, like, how did Donald Trump get elected? What is it about this guy that people are voting for? It's taken a fucking decade for them to start wondering.
With chicken, right? Okay, anything else?
Nope, that'll be all.
Any sauce?
Let's do some hot sauce, please.
Okay.
Well, couldn't it be with beef? Because he's got that thing going on with Elon. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, I guess. Beef and chicken?
Look at the liberal cuck that's joining this order.
Yeah, all right, let's go. I just prefer a beef taco. I'm just trying to figure out a way I can order that.
Okay, 841.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so now he's going to enjoy.
Yes, please.
He shows himself getting the tacos.
Thanks so much. Have a good day.
He got a receipt for some reason. We don't need to bring ink and paper into this.
This is a business expense. This is for...
Well, yeah, good point. It's for his TikTok. So he's showing the taco and he's eating it.
Taco Bell reports surge of that will drive him fucking insane.
Yeah, so apparently they're I know, because they're bad at memeing. They're bad at trolling people. They don't know what they're doing. It's so stupid.
Maybe if Taco Bell changed the name of it to the Donald Trump special, Trump would comment on it.
Of course.
But if they just reported a surge in Doritos Locos tacos, why would that drive him nuts? Hey, my hair is orange and I'm crazy.
I'm so mad about this. This is a president who loves fast food.
And loves fucking roasting, by the way.
Well, right, yes. He's been the subject of a roast. He's said funnier things than Rosie O'Donnell's ever said to Rosie O'Donnell.
I didn't think it was on the nose enough. He should have looked in the bag and said, "Where's the side of shit?" Because the Donald Trump always comes with shit.
Can I get some bad policies with that? Okay. This one also comes in from number one Kumia's cock in our Discord. And this is fun. There's like a toddler who's on one of those electric SUV things. You know, you've seen those where it's like they can drive around at like 3 miles an hour or something. And a cop pulls him over. And by the way, the toddler's black. And the police officer is white.
Of course.
That's an important part of this video. Alright, so the officer's walking up to this kid he's pulling over.
Can I see your driver's license and registration?
And this kid starts running. He gets off of the vehicle and just starts sprinting down the road.
No, Papa!
The cop shoots this kid.
Hey, Papa, come back! Happy birthday, brother! I appreciate you so much. Boy, babe, get... Oh, my God. Oh, my God, this is so funny.
They learn at an early age, apparently. If a cop is talking to you, run in the other direction.
Well, good for him. I like his. I would teach the young man to just roll down his window and hand over his license and registration. But
well, get to trifold now is what you should do.
Just yes, absolutely.
In that scenario, but all right, we got to head over to Instagram. But first, let's thank the people who are here to thank us for the work that we do.
Yay, super chats.
Destriga over at supertip.gg/WATP.
Stop losing your mind over some jokes, Dave. All of a sudden, you're Jewish?
Yo, my kickers. Last time I checked, I'm not a paramedic. You need to get some dirty ghetto fart box. I'm your man.
That's now how I deal with knickers. I take them to my art dungeon and check their prostrate for imperfections.
Good Lord.
God, our woke dad stuff today.
Oh, there's
Jesus
one. If I can give you,
Christ.
it's rare now.
Wow.
That when I'm pulling clips, I laugh out loud, and can't control myself laughing. And there's one clip. I'm not sure if you could tell which one it was, but there's one that really got me.
Oh my gosh, I was also laughing out loud. It's out of
Okay,
control. Silence Do Good coming in. He says, "Hey, Blind Mike, did you hear Portnoy say Blind Mike recently? It was cool when he said Blind Mike, but my favorite part was when he said Blind Mike."
That is true. I watched the Legion of Skanks talk about that whole thing with him and Kirk, and it was Luis J. Gomez goes, "I thought he was Italian, Portnoy. I didn't even realize he was Jewish."
I know that's the funny part here. Is that he's not like identified as a Jewish man, Dave Portnoy.
No, I said he's become Uncle Leo. He just calls everyone anti-Semitic that he doesn't agree with.
Right. KFT coming in.
Fuck Dave Portnoy. His big nose and his short arms, penny pincher, and typical lowballer. He used to hit me with a draddle. Also, why do black people only loot Nike stores?
Okay, that's not the real me, Dave. That's an imposter.
I don't know about that, Dave. I don't know. I'm watching his list move over here. Chad's missing upper lip says, "Look who it is, Turncoat Mike. I'm sure you'll be rooting for Rabbi Portnoy on August 4th.
Ridiculous. The game got moved, by the way, everyone. It's late July, I saw.
Well, what game is that? I don't know about this.
Dave has now taken over Barstool New York, their basketball team, to coach the rubber match against Team KMS.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I did see, I saw some practicing going on for that.
Should be very intense.
Mike Larson with $3 from Australia says, "There's 6 million reasons I'm a Blind Mike guy."
Why am I in this now?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just read the news, man. I'm just a reporter here.
Well, thank you, sir.
Cool Cut Casting says, "Any advice for low-level losers wanting to stream?"
How long do you have?
Don't help your fellow man ever. Just be a giant piece of shit at all times. You might go viral. Brando coming in.
My good pal Brando is a fantastic basketball manager and also a terrific pregame analyst. Fuck Rabbi Portnoy.
That's all true, except that last part.
You're not going to go out and say fuck Portnoy?
No, I won't.
Right.
And you won't get me to. You won't get me to repeat it.
But if you were to, what would it sound like?
What might that sound like?
All right. Let's head over to Instagram and see what's doing.
Blinded like Blind Mike. Don't be a douche. Instagram in the night. Blinded like Blind Mike. Check out these reels. They might make you wanna fight.
John Cerasani.
Oh, yeah.
What can you say about this guy that hasn't already been said? We had one of our listeners or viewers named Elder Dabbles. He posted a photo in the Discord.
Oh.
And there he is in front of the Schaumburg Water Tower wearing his Tukey shirt. It's a dabbler in Schaumburg.
Oh, very nice.
You know, there's a lot of places people need to visit. Canoga Park, Schaumburg, Gary, Indiana, Rochester. So a lot. When you're in the Dabbleverse, there's certain places you have to go visit.
Well, we're going to learn a little about Schaumburg. I think John Cerasani has been reading some of the comments and is trying to rehab his image. Perhaps.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Do you want to start there?
We can if you want.
I mean, since we're talking about it. So
Sure.
He was recently a guest on Mike Kelta's show, a show that I was on not too long ago.
Yes.
He's down in Tampa. He's a morning show host. He does a podcast with his wife that I picked up on a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
But this is Mike Kelta interviewing our buddy John Cerasani, the celebrity.
This is a totally different guy than we usually deal with.
No, this is funny. This is a guy who's trying to rehab his image for
Yes.
sure.
You got to go chase your dreams and do what you want to do, and there's no other way, or else you're going to be a slave to somebody else for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. And in people's defense, that they'll see, because the way the Instagram algorithm works, unfortunately, is they push out what's getting that traction, right? And so sometimes the ones that are a little bit more controversial are the ones that end up getting pushed out.
Sure.
Me with this mentally disabled girl in Chicago or in Schaumburg, that we did this thing for her mom, and bought flowers and did this whole thing. Yeah, that's great, dude, but like 35,000 views instead of 500,000 like other ones.
Right.
You know?
Okay, let me explain how the algorithm works. All right. So you got a mentally challenged girl, pie in the face. That's how you're going to get views. That's how you're going to get picked up.
I like a guy who does charity and is like, not enough people watched the video where I helped the retarded girl.
A lot of people don't realize what an amazing guy I am, Mike. I'm glad that you had me on the program to explain this to your audience, at least.
This goddamn algorithm.
What an asshole.
But if you're not following me, you're never
You're not gonna see it.
you're never seeing that post.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fine, man. It's fine. And and then unfortunately or unfortunately, the ones that are like supposed to be satire.
Yeah.
But people don't know me well enough to understand satire. It's like, dude, because I flex this waterfall in my living room, bro.
Yeah.
I go, dude. Listen, I grew up in Schaumburg, on the mean streets of Schaumburg, dude, and look at me now, bro. I got a waterfall in my living room. People are like, what are you talking about, dude? Schaumburg's not a rough area, bro.
Dude, I
could buy that waterfall. Then go buy it, dude. Go buy it, dude.
The waterfall is the best thing. And the fact that you pointed out, it's so great. It's so great. That's so
people
funny.
off though, bro. Even like good guys. There's this guy named Brad Lee in Vegas that has a pretty popular podcast. He was like, dude, that waterfall's like 10 grand. I go, then why don't you have one, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's this affable guy?
So this has all been him clowning us?
It's been a ruse.
It's been a ruse this entire time. Guys, I know I seem like a pompous douche. Turns out I was joking the whole time.
I think he's seen a lot of the comments, or then he's bad at satire because he's always in that character. It's not like, once in a while as a joke, he makes a video about the waterfall. It's constant. It's been constant for 2 years since we've been following this guy. It's not like Andy Kaufman ever ripped off the mustache and said, guys, Tony Clifton doesn't exist. He's not a real person. It's me.
Right. You don't do both. Like,
yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay didn't go up for, just be like, by the way, my name's not Andrew. I'm not even this guy at all.
He did once on Arsenio Hall, and it didn't work out well.
Well, yeah, right. He learned his lesson on that. But, so this is amazing. What we're learning now is that turns off I was coming off like a douchebag, and I just want to let everyone know right now that that's not me.
Just kidding.
That's a joke I do. It's pretty good.
No, I'm the guy that helps the retarded girl, not every
Right.
other video I make.
Yes. All right, so let's get back to his Instagram. And I do have one more clip from the Mike Kelta show that you didn't send me, but I was watching a little bit of this.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to play for you. But sorry, this is a weird straw man argument that he pulls out of his ass. This is something that like these guys who make these short videos, they have to be arguing with someone, even though there's no one there to argue with.
Yeah.
This is a weird one.
Well, why do you live in the state of Illinois, dude? If you're so rich, man, I don't understand why you live in Illinois with those taxes. You don't understand why I'd want to make sacrifices for my kids. You don't understand why I wouldn't want to take my kids out of school and move to a different state for my own selfish purposes. You don't understand why I wouldn't want to do that? I understand it, dude.
I just want to point something out, Mike, just to make this about me. I've personally made 132 different judgments about this guy. Living in Illinois has never been one of them. I've never once been like, and why the fuck is he living where he's from?
Yeah.
Why is he still living where he grew up? What an asshole.
So I'm confused. Is this this is satire? This is not the real guy? Because he's making a pretty passionate argument, as if someone was really like, "You motherfucker, you get out of Chicago.
You obviously
the taxes are too high.
You obviously aren't rich, or you wouldn't be in Illinois. Gotcha, motherfucker."
Like, it's a common thing. I mean, taxes in Massachusetts could also be the argument, but like with Massachusetts, people are always like, "Man, the weather. Why do you live there?" And you're like, "I know, crazy, right?" I'm never like, I was accosted today by a guy who thinks I should move down south during the winter.
I understand it, dude. Good people understand it, bro. I watched my mom and my dad the first half of their marriage are out dancing the night away, going to the nightclubs, having a good time, just being.
You watched that? Did they bring you with them?
Nice moves, Pop.
What are you talking about? You watched them go out to nightclubs the first half of their marriage. It's weird. By the way, if you get this riled up over someone questioning why you live in a state, maybe the internet's not for you. Maybe you need to calm down a little bit.
This is a character. This is just a funny bit that he
All right, I get it. Yeah. Good point.
Being good people. The second half of their marriage, man, my mom was in a wheelchair.
Womp,
all right?
And I took a lot of videos with her and no one watched them.
Right now, our major, there's a guy named Max Gross. I was on his podcast, dude. He was in a bad wreck overseas.
God, he talks about being on podcasts more often than I do. Holy shit.
Do you know why I was alerted to the fact that he was on Mike Calta's show?
Why is that?
He made a video and said, I was on Mike Calta's show today, everyone.
There you go.
Very excited.
Nothing wrong with cross-promoting. I do it myself. Nothing wrong. Did you see WATP yesterday? Anyway.
While serving in the military, dude. Paralyzed for the neck down, dude. Neck down, bro. He wasn't supposed to live. He's alive. He has a podcast.
How did we get
Want
here?
to talk about sacrifices?
You talking about Quadfather now? What's going on? What's he talking about?
How did we get to a man losing the ability to move? Because someone was like, why do you live in Chicago?
Yeah, he's lost the plot on this one. And by the end, he doesn't even know why he started this video.
No.
It's crazy. Like, wait till you see where he gets to in his mind. Starting off with, let me tell you why I live in Illinois, motherfucker.
There are people that can't walk. How many Jews have to die?
Yeah, right. It's like a Portnoy argument. Like, what are we talking about?
Being made, bro. You want to talk about sacrifices being made, bro? The list goes on, dude. We ain't making any sacrifices by being a good person. By being a good human, that's not a sacrifice, pal. All right? So why am I in this position I'm at right now? Why am I able to go to casinos? Why am I able to basically gamble for a living and live the life? Because I've done things all these freaking years, man, that got me here. I didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, I got the world by the balls. No, dude. I earned this stuff, bro.
Is that what people are questioning?
John, all I said was Illinois taxes are a little higher than other
Yeah, right. Like you can move something like to Florida. There's no state income tax or Texas. It's great.
My mother can't walk.
I was on a guy's show, kid, who was supposed to be dead. Jesus, dude. What are you talking about?
No, just the gambling. FanDuel's charging 50 cents a bet. That's all we're saying.
Honestly, if he would have just been like, people are questioning why I live in Illinois. I travel all the time. I go to Vegas. I go to casinos. Okay, there's a great answer.
Yeah.
Who cares where I call home? I'm always out and about doing shit. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's not how we got there. It's not even close. All right, this is him talking to his daughter. He pulls out his phone, starts filming the conversation with his daughter over lunch or something. And this is just odd. There's a weird dynamic between these two. We've pointed it out before.
You think?
Yeah, I do. I do think. 22-year-old daughter with big boobs coming in.
I gotta be honest.
Good morning.
I didn't realize it was the daughter based on the way he was talking to her. I was like,
oh. Oh, you didn't know that?
I thought it was like a hot assistant that he had now. I was like, why is he?
Interesting.
And I still thought he was being creepy.
Interesting. Yeah, no, this is the daughter.
Okay.
And he needs, this is a weird line of questioning because he's trying to show what a great relationship they have and what a cool dad he is.
Yeah.
But he's trying to do it like, let me just talk to my daughter because that's what I do kind of thing. But, you know, these types of conversations, you don't need to have your phone out to go on Instagram Live with, but whatever.
Good morning.
Oh, you're filming?
Yeah. So what did you think of 2 days in Tampa as far as the assistant duties have been concerned?
So good.
What was your highlight?
I got you 1 million views.
You got 1 million views on that one, yes. And what was that video that we did? What was it?
It was the dancing trend.
Do you think we got the 1 million views because of you being in it or me being in it?
You being in it, for
It
sure.
had nothing to do with your outfit?
Nothing to do with
See,
that.
that's why I was like, oh, this is a creepy way to talk to your assistant,
Yeah,
not
no,
your daughter.
It's even creepier to talk to your daughter about this.
Yeah.
Your outfit?
Nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with nothing to do with underboob?
Don't even know what that is.
All right. Did you enjoy Metallica?
Yes.
And did you enjoy, how helping me like hype up everybody during the live stream blackjacks.
Everyone was very hyped, and you are up 20,000.
20,000. That's a win, right? That's a win. And then we celebrated. How did we celebrate last night?
Celebrate last night. We ate steak.
Yes. We're at. Do you remember that?
No.
Council Oaks Steakhouse.
Council Oaks Steakhouse.
Do you see what I mean? Like this whole entire video is just to brag about how amazing he is, and talk about like, hey, remember we went to a concert and I got everyone hyped at the blackjack thing, and then we went out for steaks afterwards.
And is she a little? Did he do her podcast? If you know what I'm asking. Is she a little special needs?
No, I don't think so.
I ate a steak.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, wait until the next line of questioning here.
Good, right?
Yes,
Very
it was
good.
delicious.
We split a ribeye, a bone-in ribeye, and we still didn't finish. It was excellent, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what did you enjoy most about the Metallica concert?
Great question.
I love the.
I want to know what she enjoyed most about the Metallica concert. She doesn't strike me as a big Metallica fan.
It's interesting. Okay.
You know, so I want to be like, yeah. What was the best part of the Metallica concert?
Sure.
This is a telling answer.
I love the energy. Everyone was going crazy and nuts.
I liked that other people were enjoying it. You know what I liked about that concert? Everyone around me seemed to really enjoy that band and thought they were good. Like
I was looking out and I was like, well, these people are having fun, so maybe there's something I'm missing.
Right. Good answer.
Throughout it, which was awesome. Watching everyone mosh was really fun.
Yeah.
The suite was epic. The songs were amazing.
What was your favorite song? What's your favorite Metallica song in general?
Okay. What's your favorite Metallica song in general? This is a loaded question. There's no way she knows a Metallica song.
This is also where we've gotten to you see the interviewer is not prepared here. We've gotten to some
Right, yeah,
pretty
he's-
boring questions.
Yeah, he's losing it right here. But let's find out what she thinks what the best Metallica song is.
All right.
I know it. It's the one.
Fade to Black.
Fade to Black.
Oh, okay. So you had to tell her what song. I have a feeling no matter what words he just said, she'd be like, "Yep, that's the one that I really like a lot."
The one, you know. Oh, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black, Fade to
it's-
Black, yeah.
Oh, it's the one. You must mean Fade to Black, of course.
Now we can't even post this because you just said that word, so now I gotta cut this whole thing out.
Oh shit.
I'll edit it. All right.
Do you want to retake it?
What's the Metallica thing with your fingers?
Devil.
It's a devil. It's not a devil.
So she gives the devil horns. What's the Metallica thing with your fingers? Dude, I feel like an idiot. I did this at an Iron Maiden concert. I had no idea that was the Metallica thing.
Oh,
People must have been looking at me like, what fucking concert does this guy think he's at? What an
Guy's a
idiot.
big Metallica fan.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, we're all watching Mastodon over here. Get the fuck out of here with your Metallica fingers. My bad. I'm sorry, guys.
I get
Move
to watch
along.
that video through a whole new lens because I was like, oh god, Cerasani is really trying to fuck his new assistant.
Well, maybe he is. So Mike Kelta asks about his daughter.
I did hear that. You know what? Had I realized the other video I had
Yes.
selected, I think I would have included
Right.
this clip. Yeah.
So this is why I included this clip. This is Mike Kelta asking John about his hot daughter.
Okay.
What now? Don't get mad at me. At one point, you've been with a lot of hot girls in your videos.
All right.
But one point, one was your daughter.
Okay.
Is that right? You got to differentiate. The guy was like, "Look at Cerasani, he's pulling ass," and I go, "Oh wait, I think that one's his daughter."
Me
Well, she's
too,
beautiful.
Mike.
Yeah.
Well, dude, my
Yeah,
daughter.
that's- we're all wondering that, Mike. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you bringing it up because I want to hear what John has to say about this.
Man, it's kind of cool. She's 22 years old, bro. She's living in Miami.
Maybe she wants to meet my son. Well, she,
There you go.
Oh, that's funny. Mike Kelta's son's a loser because I hear him and his wife bicker about how he doesn't have a job. He's not going
Right,
to
I've heard
school.
that. Yeah,
he has
yeah.
to buy $300 sweatpants from the mall. So Mike Kelta's looking for anything for this loser son of his.
She down to fuck?
Dude,
What do you think, John?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, brother, probably at least twice a week she'll message me. It's just, Dad, I don't even know how you go out in public now because some people come up to her that recognize her from,
Right.
from
right,
my
right.
videos, so-
Does she think it's cool or does she think it's a pain in the ass?
She thinks it's really cool.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
really
Oh yeah.
Did you hear what John just said? This is incredible.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh my gosh, I have my daughter in my couple of my videos. People come up to her all the time. They're like, oh my God, you're John Cerasani's daughter." So she messages me and goes, "Dad, I don't know how you deal with the fame that you have because I have a percentage of it, a small fraction of it, and I can't deal with all the fame I have.
I know, people are coming up to me. Hey, you the hot girl John Cerasani's trying to fuck? And I'm like, I think so.
I think that's right, actually, but long story. So then after that conversation, a little while longer, John goes on to talk about how famous he is. He goes, I can't walk 20 feet in a casino in Vegas without people stopping me and
I have
talking
my
to
phone
me.
out.
Mike, is that where we're at? I don't know how famous John Cerasani is. When you first introduced me to him 2.5 years ago, whatever it was, I was like, I don't know this guy. I don't know anything about him.
I'll bet he makes it more than 20 feet. But he does make a spectacle of himself. You know,
That's true.
he's got his phone out. He's yelling. You can tell he's somebody, I'm sure. But also, like, he is fairly well known. Like we've seen now Mike Calta, from Mike Calta to Jimmy Kimmel, we've seen people be like, oh, I see that guy on Instagram. He's a wacky guy.
Bert Kreischer, Tom Segura. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's true. That is a good point. All right. We got some TikTok folks coming up. But first, people are being very generous today.
Oh,
they're slowing down the show, which is ridiculous, but
That's
they're being
enough of
very,
that.
very generous.
Yay, super chats.
And the way that you slow down the show and ruin the show is by going to supertip.gg/WATP like Anonymous did.
Since Dave hates blind people, Moody, get the Portnoy voice working. Don't worry, Mike. I'll protect that sweet, supple ass. Just come to my art studio for free dad hugs, as many as you want.
Oh, that's a good idea. We should get a Portnoy voice on here.
Well, yes.
Should we get Kirk? Should we get Kirk and Dave on here?
No, stop it.
We could have them argue, AI versions of them argue with each other.
I'll be too frightened.
Moody! I like that. It's a good idea.
Carl, you didn't tell Mike the funniest part. We knew she was deaf because she was rage signing from her car.
Thanks a lot, Carl.
Versed and dabble.
It's part of the game. Yeah.
Coming in. That is part of the game. We can't explain to Mike why we know these things.
Right.
From visual cues.
This is Tom Myers versus the rest of the world. I ordered the Donald Trump special at Taco Bell because he's stale and crunchy. You can go ahead and laugh now.
Okay.
I can
see
my
Myers,
friend making that order.
I can see Tom Myers not understanding what the joke is. Yeah, because it's stale and crunchy, right? No, that's not it at all. Dame Taft coming back again.
Carl, check your fucking email. Not nice to deprive the fans of new jingle submissions.
I am behind on email, Dame Taft. I apologize.
How many of these fucking people do you correspond with over email?
Hundreds?
You're going to be on Dame Taft's show next.
I think the answer is hundreds. Silence Dogood coming in. Carl, you may find Wes Watson worth looking into for the show. He's in the midst of an epic downfall with all the ingredients of a lol cow.
We talked about him once. I will look back if there's new developments. We'll check back. But we talked about him a few months ago.
Remind me, who's Wes Watson?
He went to jail and came out, and now he's like an alpha male influencer. He's kind of like John Cerasani, but he's been to prison.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, there's a lot of people clowning him on the internet. We'll look into it. Thank you very much. Silence Dogood again.
Dude, check out how hot my daughter is. I made that.
You sure did, John. Congratulations.
Very proud.
And Anonymous says, Schaumburg is the Alabama of Illinois, it seems.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know about that. I'm going to get insulting now. Very rude, I would say.
It's all satire.
Arcanistoff's theorem says, well, if it isn't Mikey No Eyes and Clubby K, Skull. That was actually the original working title of this show.
It kind of was.
Yeah, kind of was. We were almost there.
Yeah.
And then we went, what if it was under the Who Are These umbrella?
Probably makes more sense.
Miguel with $5. When John said, and how did we celebrate last night? I was ready to either throw up or beat off, depending on my mood, based on her answer.
It is. It's like I guess maybe it makes more sense now that we know it's his daughter, because it's like, and how did we celebrate? It's like he's talking to a little kid. She's 22.
And did you enjoy the concert? You had fun, right? And you're glad that I brought you to the concert?
And did you say thank you
to the nice man who brought you to the concert? Matthew Raleigh, member for 12 months, says, Mike, Portnoy and I would like to know why you hate Jewish people and want them to be removed from society. It seems wrong.
I know we're getting more super chats, but I don't think I care for the theme.
Well, just answer the question, Mike. What's your problem with the Jewish people?
Well, they're a little stingy, is all I'm saying.
Okay. So it's not Zionism per se.
No,
It's
no,
just the
just basic
personalities.
societal, yeah.
That's the fun kind of anti-Semitism. Steve Morton, $5 says, "Hey Mike, is it true you said seems like a waste of good real estate when talking about the Holocaust Museum? Is that true?"
I didn't do any of this. Don't you dare tell Portnoy any of this.
God damn it, Mike. You're out of line.
He's going to start to dislike me.
Yeah, he's going to. I was going to invite him to come back to Barstool, but I didn't realize he was saying all that. Never mind then. I want to thank our friend KJ, who we are going to see next weekend in Boston. WATPlive.com is where you go for tickets to that. There's a handful remaining. If you want to come and see Blind Mike and me and Dick Masterson and the whole WATP crew live in Boston, we will be at the City Winery on Saturday the 21st. KJ coming in with a $50 super tip.
Oh.
Thank you, KJ. It says, "It's so alpha of Mike to still distress Portnoy all these years later."
I am very alpha. That's why I'm in his head. I'm such a man's man.
It is pretty impressive, man. You're living rent free in a place where I would feel like the rent would be pretty high. You know,
As, the best line in the Crack Amico song is fuck. El Raise the Rente, I think he calls him.
Yeah, it's El Presidente.
Yeah.
El Raise the Rente. Yeah, there's a lot of jokes that if you're not paying attention, they slip right by you. Thank you, KJ. Looking forward to meeting you next weekend. And thank you so much for the support of the show and what keeps the lights on in both of our studios.
Greeting, Mike. Happy Pride Month to the Dabblerverse's favorite bisexual, Karl Hamburger.
I'm the Dick Master.
Jack Sampson coming in. Thank you very much for that. I guess I've been upgraded to bisexual. I thought I was just gay.
I don't know if people know this. The Beggy Monster is Jewish, as a matter of fact.
Is that true? Well, I guess that makes sense. There's Mike's anti-Semitism coming out again. Jesus Christ. This guy
It's a fact of me. I don't judge him for it.
You can't stop doing it. It's crazy. Well, since we're talking about pride, I'm glad that someone brought that up. Because this is our first show of June. You know, we missed last week. So we missed the beginning of Pride Month. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are celebrating like our guy girl Fuzz99 on TikTok from the Hebrew Hammer sending this in to us.
It's the first day of Pride! Let's go, baby! Finally! Ow, it's stuck on my crown!
Gayest month of the whole year, man. Ah! Seriously, though.
Whether this is your first Pride celebrating fully out of the closet,
Your 100th time, your 69th time, or whether you're in the closet or out of the closet, you deserve to celebrate and have an amazing Pride. So please be kind to yourselves this month. Celebrate, fight, and make sure to support each other. Happy Pride, baby. I love you guys so much.
I like the idea. I like the idea that like there's this fight for equality and all this stuff now. Yet this person seems to think people were coming out of the closet 69 or 100 years ago. I got news for you. It was a little tougher back then.
Yeah, I don't know if they had Pride Month 100 years ago.
No.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't a
They
thing.
were blowing air horns and saying, "It's June!"
I'm starting to think this whole joy thing isn't real. Because I'll be honest with you, Mike, there isn't a single thing they could declare is a month of that they're celebrating that would change my mood.
No.
You know what I mean? Like if it was, I don't know, Crooked Teeth German month, I would be like, finally, people are recognizing me. Let's go.
That is July. That's trending through all of July. So I'm pretty sure that is next month.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. I'm looking forward to that.
It's kind of exciting, no?
I'll have a very exciting month for that.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to pretend that like, because it's become
Your life is better in June.
Yeah. It doesn't make it like, what is the celebration that we're doing? Is Is July 1st like a bummer for this woman or this person, whatever it is?
Right. Well, it's what we do in society now, where things can't be fine or okay or cool. They have to be the greatest thing ever. So because like people enjoyed the Pride Parade for a time, then it became, it has to, Pride is awesome. Now the whole month is a celebration. Like people having their birthday month and all this bullshit. It's just people never actually being satisfied enough. So they pretend they are.
I've talked about this before, but you know, as soon as your birthday has to extend to multiple days or a week or something, this is someone who's not enjoying their life.
No, there's a darkness inside you.
There's a darkness inside. If you need an excuse to be happy, and go out with friends and do something that you enjoy, that's fun. Like you don't need an excuse to do any of those things. You should be doing them regularly.
You don't need to be that happy every day for a month.
No, it's overrated. It's overrated. Trust me. As a smile talker, I can tell you it's exhausting.
It's painful.
My cheeks hurt. This is coming in from Record Lover in our Discord. Of course, Record Lover is also woke.dad. I'm going to give Record Lover an assignment for our Boston show.
Ooh.
And I bet this is going to be, I think, probably an easy assignment for him. I want him to find the best archived woke dad stuff that we haven't covered yet.
What a treat
to bring to Boston. Yes. So I want to surprise you because you always pick out the woke dad stuff.
Yes.
I want to surprise you with some videos.
Oh, good. I love that. I love it. It's exhausting only for your thumb, but for your mind and your heart, it's enlightening.
Yes, correct. So anyway, he sent this one in, and this is some pronoun talk. Since we are in Pride Month, I thought it was important to address this.
Definitely.
Hi, my name is Snow, and I use no pronouns. Now, that's not true. I actually use they, them pronouns. But
oh, Jesus Christ. That was a twist right away. Wow.
Gotcha.
Didn't even take a beat to let it sink in.
I've already lied to you. Now here's the rest of the video.
No, and I use no pronouns. I'm just kidding. Guys, I know that sounded crazy, right? It's not the case. I do.
No, I'm not one of those freaks.
But somebody might come up to you and say, hi, my name is la la la, and I use no pronouns. And your initial reaction might be like, how am I going to do this?
How am I going to do this? Mike, if you said, yeah, I don't really have pronouns, I mean, it's fine. I don't ever call you he or him during the show or when we're talking, so who gives a shit?
Well, that's true. Unless I was real nasty, where you're like, you say to someone else, like, hey, does Mike have his? And I'm like, You better watch it.
Does Mike have Mike's password?
There you go.
Yeah, that's how you say it. Okay. These people are fucking out of control. These people are bored out of their minds. If this is what they're talking about, they just need a hobby.
I'm glad. I think, and maybe I don't have my finger on the pulse the way I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we have to look a little harder for these videos now. It's not now it's a lot more freaks that are on the fringes than it being in mainstream, I feel like.
You can't see this person, but they're literally dressed like a clown.
Oh, then I was way off. I'm sorry.
It looks like a clown.
Initial reaction might be like, how am I going to do this? What do you mean you use no pronouns? Well, let's first talk about why someone might not use pronouns, and then I'll give you some examples. So let's go. Personally, I think this one's very fitting during Pride Month because there are transphobic people here that will be like, pronouns aren't real, and it's like, well, dude, you use she, her, or he, him pronouns.
Wow, they're talking about a straw man argument. There's transphobic people here who think that pronouns aren't real. Well, guess what? I don't know if you know this. You use pronouns.
Damn.
Oh shit, they are real. Fuck. Well, there goes I've been saying this for months to my buddies, and no one's called me on it. But
I like the type of inequality that you get backed into a corner to participating in. You know what I mean? They're like, "Well, we got you to being a bigot." Oh, damn! I didn't realize.
So you are using pronouns. Pronouns are real, but you just don't like alternatives. But anyway, so someone might say I use no pronouns because some people see pronouns as unnecessary or overly tied to labels that they don't identify with.
Unnecessary? It's just the language that we speak.
Speaking? Yeah.
Yeah, it's words are actually quite necessary in communication. It's interesting.
Yeah, go through any book and erase all the pronouns. It would be a little confusing.
Could you imagine if, like, who knows where this movie's going to go? If I'm just like, I just don't like adverbs. Don't even fucking use adverbs around me. I can't with adverbs.
It's weird that the language thing became such a part of the fabric of this cause.
It's out of boredom. I'm telling you, there's no reason to focus on this. It's so dumb.
Right. It has to be.
It's so dumb. And you know what else makes it dumb? I remember years ago, before they, them was adopted as the non-binary whatever pronouns, it was zer or something like that.
Oh, yes,
right?
Zimzer or
Zimzer. Yeah. Remember that?
Yes.
And that made sense because it was
I don't know why I do, but I do.
But that made sense because it was a different thing. Like they, them is plural.
Right.
So if you're talking about one person and you say they, it's confusing and it makes the context difficult to understand.
Yeah.
So create a new thing that's non-gendered. Z.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tell you the real marketing geniuses is the they them people. Because at first we were like, that doesn't make any sense. That you want me to refer to a single person as they or
Right.
that makes no sense. Now these people have gone so far where it's like, well, there are what even are pronouns? They don't exist. Where we're like, no, be like the theys. They're regular.
It's funny you say that because she gets into that.
Oh,
or I should say she. They get into that.
No, don't even say that.
In a moment. No, she said she does use they, them.
Okay, all right.
I mean, they said that they do use.
Gotcha.
Fuck. It's exhausting.
You can be non-binary, gender fluid, apagender, agender.
Apagender? Is that like when you're on a trail somewhere? Apagender, what?
I feel like using no pronouns better reflects your identity. And even gender-neutral pronouns like they, them, or neo-pronouns might not feel right, and that's okay. Just because someone needs to use something that makes them feel more comfortable and it's something that's not harming the rest of the world doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. I hope that one day we can get to a place where it's more accepted and more talked about. You know, of course, I don't think the whole world can change, but I would hope that more people would just try to be more loving and accepting.
Because the whole world doesn't speak English.
Right.
So she is onto something. It can't be the whole world.
Also, there's pockets of the world, like in the Middle East and Ukraine and Taiwan, where they have bigger problems than misgendering and pronouns. Like, they kind of don't give a fuck. And for good reason.
Well,
Yeah.
someone should have notified me about these bigots. These nasty boys.
Towards others, like, dude, it's not harming you, so why are you creating such a fuss about it? You know.
This is wild. So this person is reversing the argument. It's not, look at me having no pronouns isn't causing any harm. So what's the problem? Yeah. Also, me calling you her causes no harm. It's
right. None of it causes harm.
None of it causes
weird.
harm. Yeah, it's so easy. Like, misgendering has never harmed anyone. Can't hurt someone with words.
I like just even take like the gender stuff out of it. I like the idea of just walking into a room and being like, guys, I've redone the English language. I've made some minor changes to it, and I'd like you to follow them. And people were like, well, it was kind of fine the way it was, right? What's the big deal? And I'm like, why are you making a fuss about this? Like,
Yeah, what's
this
your
is my
problem?
thing.
I'm just changing the way everybody thinks and talks. I don't understand what the problem is here.
It's a big deal.
Oh, you have to unlearn 40 years of learning? Wah. Sorry about that.
Oh, if I have no pronouns and you're talking about me, you have no fucking idea what to say?
You know, and unfortunately, when people experience frequent misgendering, sometimes it's just easier to say, hey, I'm not going to use any pronouns because it might be the safest and clearest option.
Oh, so now all right, so let's say you've transitioned and you want to be known as Lady K, and you want people to refer to you as ma'am. And, you know, Lady K was here. Yeah, she was. She was
Thought a lot about this.
Yeah. And then someone goes, no, I saw him. He was just here a second ago. And I go, oh my God, this misgendering is happening too much. Yeah. I no longer want pronouns at all. How does that fix it? Like, that's going to make it even fucking more difficult. Now, if someone goes, she was here. No, he wasn't. I'm mad at both of those people now. Before, I'm just mad at one of them.
I'd like it if we come across these videos one day and someone has adopted Just Do It as their... I'm a JDI.
I'm a real Just Do It. This is the Just Do It month, by the way. We're celebrating.
That's true, yeah.
I've never been more joyous in my life than I am right now.
And there are a lot of people that are like, Just suck it up, buttercup. Misgendering happens. And it's like, well, yeah, it does. But it usually happens in public, which can cause someone to feel exposed, awkward, or humiliated, even if it's unintentionally done. So using this person's name instead might feel better. And again, that's okay. I think it's awesome if someone finds something that does feel comfortable to them. Go for it. I am always here to applaud you, and people who genuinely like my channel are also here to applaud you for that. So
all right, I gotta pop out of this one. It goes on for another minute. It's too much. It's these people.
We get the gist. She's a pain in the ass.
You're right. She's very difficult to be friends with.
Yeah.
She's constantly policing everything that you say.
Yeah.
She's probably reading your mind at the same time and going, ah! Like, all right, you saw me make a look at that person over there. All right, you got me. I'm doing it wrong again. Hebrew Hammer sent this next one. Let's transition from LGBTQI plus, QIA plus. I can't believe I forgot the A's for there for a second. Jesus. Let's transition from that over to obese women.
Oh, goody.
We've talked about these ladies before. These are the fatties that go to Disney and vlog about it.
Ah, yes.
So that they can teach you things.
Lovely gals.
Yes. When you're a plus size woman, you're constantly thinking, which rides can I enjoy if I go to Disney? And that's why we have these ladies to help us out with that.
Have you been dying to ride Avatar Flight of Passage at Disney World's Animal Kingdom, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers. We range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us from our plus-size Disney tips and tricks. Flight of Passage is an exhilarating simulation.
Do you think that the 5X chick is jealous of the 2X chick? Look at her showing off her barely
maybe
round
one day.
curves. Yeah, right. I wonder if there's like jealousy and shit going on with these.
Flight of Passage is an exhilarating simulation ride that takes you soaring through Pandora on the back of a Banshee. There is a test seat for this ride to the left of the entrance. You will need to ask a cast member for assistance in order to use it. The ride vehicle here is very similar to...
This is hilarious. So similar to how airports will have a little box you can put your luggage in to see if it's the right size for the overhead. They literally have the seats outside of the ride so the fatties can figure out if they can fit on it or not.
Oh, how convenient.
But you have to ask one of the cast members, an employee.
Yes.
Hey, I'm like 420 pounds. Can I sit on that thing before I get in this line and wobble up and get embarrassed that I can't fit on the thing?
That was
That's
a
what
sad
it's there
day.
for, ma'am. Come on
That was
over.
a sad day when Disney lost the war to obesity. It's like, well, they're not getting any thinner. Let's make them check before so we don't waste our time.
Right. They got so many complaints. They're literally putting picnic benches in 5-star restaurants at Disney. They're like, all right, you don't want fucking arms on your chair. Fine. Here's a bench. They're like, yes, that's what we wanted. Okay.
I lean so far the opposite direction with stuff, like with seeing in particular. Like, I can't think of a particular scenario that compares to this, but if there's going to be a slight issue, I lean to let me avoid this entirely rather than, well, let me just inconvenience everyone for the entire day and it'll be their problem.
I want to see a video of how do you get to Orlando if you're 5X. Because I would think the harder part, rather than just being in the park, the harder part would be flying there.
I guess they just live. Maybe they just moved to Florida to do this.
Someone just rolls them.
Yeah.
The ride vehicle here is very similar to a bike seat. To board the ride, you'll need to straddle the seat and walk yourself forward. We recommend scooting yourself in as far as possible before sitting down. The seat is anti-slip, so once you sit down, it will be difficult to reposition yourself without standing up. The safe...
Ugh, it's an anti-slip seat?
What's wrong with that?
I like that she goes, well, because anyone else can just like get up and adjust themselves. She goes, once you sit down, you're stuck there. It's like, no, you can use your legs to like lift yourself up and adjust where you want to
I guess I was just thinking of the material. I wasn't realizing they were doing the slipping. I hadn't conjured that image.
So they go, get as close in as you can. So in other words, like hit your gut up against that bar and then sit down to see if this will work or not. Because once you sit down, there ain't no getting up. You're stuck.
Not to give these people any motivation, but like, shouldn't just Disney and other theme parks just make new rides bigger? You know, people are fucking fat.
Jesus
at this point.
Christ, Mike!
I'm part of the problem. I'm sorry.
That's
You're right.
the side.
You're
That's
right.
the side you're on.
You're right. You're right.
Now, I'm all for the airlines doing that because I'd
Yeah.
like to be able to work on my computer without it in my fucking face.
Yeah.
like this, the person who has to, extend their chair back into me. So if there was a fat person plane, I'm taking it. I don't care if it costs extra money.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as rides go,
you're right. Too much. I was just thinking how we stop these videos, and I got out of control.
Okay, you went too far.
Position yourself without standing up. The safety mechanism here is a combined back and calf restraint. If you hear a click when the restraints come up, that means you're good to go. If it doesn't click right away, we recommend pointing your toes or sliding your feet in as close as possible. In our experience, if the seat doesn't lock right away, a cast member will come up and help you lock it in. Being able to fit on.
In our experience, if you're too fat for this thing to lock in, a cast member will come up.
Thank God.
Jesus, these poor people.
I wonder which one is on that duty. Who do they decide you pull the fat people out?
Probably whoever's on probation.
On this ride really depends on your specific body shape. Deanna and Katie both wear a size 3X, but Deanna was able to ride while Katie was not.
Oh no.
It's like Deanna's a little hotter.
Well, it's odd to me that after all this, they're like, can you be a plus size gal and ride this ride? And they go, well, it depends on your body shape because this one at 3X could and this one 3X couldn't. Like, well,
how many pluses?
That doesn't help me at all. Yeah. If I'm a 3X, I'm like, well, what do you mean my body shape? It's the same as yours. It's grotesque.
It's a body.
It's too much body.
Yeah.
Those of us who wear sizes 4X and 5X are also not able to ride this. If you use a wheelchair or ECV, you will need to transfer from a wheelchair into the ride vehicle. There is a transfer device available to make transferring easier. Depending on which room you're sent to, there may be stairs in the queue. If you're unable to use stairs, just let the cast member know and they'll direct you where to go. This 3D ride is not only visually stunning, but appealing to all of the senses. We hope that these tips help.
Oh, well, what an asshole. A couple of her friends couldn't even go on the ride. The 4X, the other 3X girl, the 5X girl couldn't even go out there. And she goes, and by the way, this ride's fucking awesome. It was so much fun.
I can't use stairs. I can use roller coasters. That's an interesting place to be in life.
Mike, I got to say, if you're a 4X, like you're a gal, and these girls are in their 20s or 30s, they're not old. They're not that old.
Sure.
I don't know that navigating Disney should be high on your priority list.
No, certainly not.
I would think that you should be perusing more like nutritional or exercise videos, things like that.
Right. But you do kind of, to your question before, it's like, how are they even in a position where they can be at Disney? That seems
it's crazy.
Surprising. Yeah.
It's crazy. But I don't know, man. Everyone seems to be losing weight now. Ozempic is the new thing. So maybe this will go away. Now that Lizzo is skinny. Maybe this won't be a thing anymore. Maybe this is a dying breed.
We can only hope.
They technically are dying because of their hearts.
Yes.
But other than that, you know what I mean. Joe Matarese is on social media.
He sure is.
And Mike is there for it. I'm there for it. Do you want to set this one up at all, the Pitchman video?
Oh, this is just, I don't know what Joe is doing. He's found a new and interesting way to convince you to buy his tickets for his comedy shows. And this feels, even for Joe Matarese, like a new low.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This weekend at the Punchline in Philadelphia, Beato's Pizza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, is sponsoring the shows. If you make a screenshot of my tour, It's in the Water poster, you will get 15% off your entire order there.
Okay. What kind of kickback is he getting for this? A single pizza joint in Philadelphia or Cherry Hill is sponsoring. How can this be worth the humiliation? I don't know what kind of money he's getting, like a free calzone or something. That's not worth it, Joe. What are you doing?
Maybe Joe just thinks like no one's going to see it, like no one pays attention to him anymore. That's the only possible option because he must know this is a weird route to take. And why is it? I guess the pizza guy is just doing him a favor. There's another video with the pizza shop owner.
Yeah.
So I guess they're friends or something, but it's a strange look.
They're sponsoring a single stand-up show that he's doing somewhere in Philly. And if you take a photo of the tour, quote unquote, that he's on, you screenshot of that, then you get 15% off your entire order at a pizza place. This is weird. Like I've gone to hockey games where they're like, hey, if the Sabres score 2 or more goals tomorrow at Tim Hortons, you get a free donut. Like, okay, I mean, we have a ticket stub, Tim Hortons is all over the place. You can easily find one.
And can I just screenshot a picture of Joe Matarese's tour poster and not go to Joe's show?
Correct. Yes.
So what benefit is it to Joe?
I don't know. That's
or the restaurant.
That's what I'm wondering what the kickback is. It can't be worth this.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's hear more about it. There's more to this pitch. I'm sorry.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I paused it early here.
Your entire order there up until the following Sunday, which is June 15th.
Okay, so this offer is only available for like this week.
Hurry up, people. What are you doing here? Act now.
All right.
Try their cheesesteak, which is unbelievable. They use the Cooper Sharp cheese. You got to do it this way?
No, this way. Like, show the front.
Ooh.
The front.
Oh, like that.
Looks good, huh?
You should try their signature buffalo chicken pizza, which I've tried both of these things. Unbelievable. Make a screenshot of the...
I'd be willing to bet that both the cheesesteak and the buffalo chicken pizza are believable. Use the same adjective for both of them. It's unbelievable.
I've had plenty of pizza in my day.
Mm-hmm.
None of it has been worth sitting through a Joe Matarese show.
If someone's just like, dude, you want some buffalo chicken pizza? Like, yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. Let's get on that.
There's a catch.
All you got to do is sit through 45 minutes of Italian jokes.
I'm a hefty boy. I've never been that hungry.
Yeah, all you got to do is listen to references to Philadelphia and baseball players from 32 years ago. Wow. Okay,
what do you think of Chase Utley, guys? He's been on the team in 15 years.
I was going to say that's almost too relevant.
Yeah.
Take a screenshot of the poster. You'll get 15% off your total order. Did I get it all out? And come and see me live this weekend. All right? The Punchline, Philly, JoeMatarese.com. You can get tickets.
Damn it. You didn't send me this video in time, Mike. I didn't know that was happening.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. You missed out.
All right. I have a question for you, Mike, because you are the expert on this.
Okay.
Who is more lost as an aging comic? Joe Matarese or Brian Callen?
Oh, Matarese.
Okay.
Matarese. Callen still has some level of success. I will say we did a segment a couple weeks ago on the Blind Mike Project of a Brian Callen story that I found to be utterly bizarre. Like, it was wild what the yarn that he was spinning about being recognized in Austin. So he might be getting there, but if we're talking who has a more relevant career, it's Callen by 50 million miles.
Okay, I didn't say relevant career. I said who's more lost, but I hear what you're saying. I agree with you. I think you're right about that. But both of ththese guys just seem like they're trying to keep it going.
What's the discussion? Joe's hawking pizza on TikTok. What are we talking about?
15% off the entire order, guys.
I don't want to defend Brian Callen, but he's not selling.
All right. I mean, good point. But also, if Joe Matarese was told, like, hey, do you want Brendan Schaub to be your co-host on a show? He'd be like, no. So he's got some judgment.
That's true.
But Joe can riff on anything, as we've seen in this next video.
True.
I'm at the grammar school that I went to, Stafford School, where I'm actually standing, meant so much to me growing up. The wall. Everybody needed a wall to play stickball. We called it fastball. That was the strike zone right there.
Fascinating. I got to say, Joe playing baseball at his elementary school, this is interesting for everyone who's watching.
After I watched this, I was like, sell me more pizzas. At least there was a point to that.
Yeah, what kind of cheddar cheese do they use on that cheesesteak? That actually sounds really good. Yeah, okay.
He's like, this is the school I went to. We'll just go to that town. You could do that with every building. This is the house I lived in.
Right.
This is the church I went
to.
The
fact that he thinks that this would be content is crazy to me. And he's going to tell us about this wall. So I shouldn't keep interrupting him, I guess.
Pitcher's mail was out there, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I have so many memories.
Wow, he's got a crutch word. So I'm sure you've picked up on Aaron Imholt from Steel Toe saying remarkable.
A time or two I've noticed. Yeah.
Every time I can't unhear it. Mm-hmm. Joe Matarese with unbelievable. Guys, the pitcher's mound was out there in front of the plates. Unbelievable. No, that's actually where I would think it would be.
He's inspiring you to think something is happening. So it's a perfect word for him.
Okay.
It's about this schoolyard right here, Stafford School. And still to this day, I still remember this from this from the schoolyard. This guy, Pete, he was a year older than me, maybe 2 years older. I had one of those Schwinn bikes with the chopper style. It's in the 70s, the Wonder Years bike. And Pete took my bike, never forget this. He just rode the bike full speed, got it going as fast as the bike could possibly go, and then just jumped off of it and let it go full speed right into the wall.
Cool story, bro.
It just smashed the whole front, the front part of the bike smashed in.
The wheel. Yeah.
And it didn't work anymore.
The front
sure
circle.
I cried.
Yeah. What's that front part? The bike's going forward. The first thing it hits, the front tire. Yeah, the front tire. That's what hit the wall. Jesus Christ.
But long story short, that guy Pete, he became a friend, and now he comes to all my shows. So Pete,
cool
I
guy.
don't mind that you ruined my frickin' Schwinn. It was a nice bike. They called it ghost riding. He ghost rode the bike. Wha-bam. Right into that.
Mike, I got to be honest with you. If I did a video at my elementary school and I was in front of a wall, I'd have like maybe one story about the wall. This guy's got 2 stories about that wall.
Yeah. If say what you want about Stuttering John, at least there are cool things he can list. Now he's listed them over and over and over again, so we've gotten a little tired of them. But at least there's some cool stuff where you can be like, that sounds pretty awesome. It's cool you got to be a part of that. Joe does that with the excruciating minutia of everyday life. He's like, man, remember the time I rode my bike to grammar school? And we're like, no, but also who gives a shit?
Yeah, we all had a bike when we were kids, and we all went to school, and there was a bully or there was a friend, and we played baseball. Like, we've all lived this life. It's not impressive or interesting.
That's what his special was, mullets and mixtapes, where he's like, man, remember Atari? And so I'm like, no, but some people are like, yeah, I guess.
I got to say, I appreciate celebrities who have a little mystery to them. I think the pandemic taught us that if you're on social media giving us every detail of growing up and your family life, we're kind of not that interested in you anymore. You want to be Leonardo DiCaprio. You're like, who is he fucking? You don't know. He's on a boat right now. There's hot chicks. You don't know what's going on.
I bet Dave Attell lives a wholly uninteresting life, but there's a mystique to him because you're like, what's that guy up to?
Yeah. And he doesn't want you to know, and you won't.
Right.
And
that's
he won't
fine.
tell you. I think right now he's in his apartment playing a game called Find the Smell.
Yeah, I remember.
If I had to guess. We got Woke Dad coming up in just a moment, but first I want to thank the generous people who are here to support the show and slow it to a grinding halt with the Super Tip system and Super Chats.
Yay, Super Chats.
Starting with Anonymous.
I'm live with another nothing stream. Just a black screen and me showing that I've literally got nothing. Give me money. Money me now. Me money needing a lot now.
Yeah, did you see that John went on his YouTube channel last night?
Oh, I heard. You know what? I never checked in. I heard you guys mention it during WATP, but I never saw what he did.
He did about an hour. It was black the entire time.
Oh, so that never changed. Okay.
Yep, and he collected super chats, and he was in the chat with people.
Good for John.
And I got to say, John missed a huge opportunity because I do not snipe. It's not my thing. I never snipe shows. And when Cardiff told me he was live, I went, oh, let's check it out. And we started sniping it. John could have hit that theme song and struck my channel. He missed out.
Damn.
Maybe next
Lost
time.
his edge.
Portnoy is so mad at me, he can't seem to concentrate. May I recommend him a special kind of camp for that?
Oh, no. Mike, see, this is going to get back to him.
I'm worried this is going to continue. I don't like that.
You get real loose on this show. You're not like this on other shows, but on this show, you get wild.
There's a chance if someone clips that and sends it to him, he does think it's me.
Yep. A good chance, honestly. Destriga coming in again.
Don't they mean 5X to 10X? 2X to 5X seems way too small for them. Fat watch.
In our experience, we make soap out of the fatties. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Why are there no chubby black men with loose pants down around the waist trying to take those rides? Disney is racist. If you feel marginalized, bring you thick chocolate self to my art dungeon.
Dan has a lot of interest according to the super tip system.
Sure does.
It's interesting. I can't really place it. Manigan, a Quinn Martin production, $5. Why is Rainbow Bob's Big Boy on my screen making me cry? Rainbow Bob's Big Boy is a good way to describe Fuzz99. The Greater Good, can't wait for Sloth Month at Gluttony Month. Do they have that yet? I want to do that. Rocco Orby 2002 says, those heavy gals will star in Final Destination 6XXL.
All right.
I like that. Hamilton Burger, whoever Bob Iger hates, like BI, Mike helps fatties.
All right. I don't know if I get it, but yes.
Okay. Pooterific says, I live for Matarese content, can't get enough. I know. He's depriving us of content, this Joe Matarese.
Well, hopefully his new sponsorship deal will have him on the internet more.
We forced his podcast off the internet multiple times now.
But there's nothing he can do. I've thought of this a million different ways, and there's nothing he could really do. It's either don't cover him, or he's going to run away. Those are the only options.
No, I get it.
Or
he could do an entertaining show that people can't.
That's out of our hands.
Right, exactly. Yeah. KFT $5 says Joe lives near Philly, not in Philly. All those Cherry Hill guys are jerk offs. Is Joe a greaser fighting with the preps and Pony Boy? Stay golden. I had a boss at the newspaper here who moved here from Cherry Hill. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is not Philly, but it is a suburb, is a very affluent area that people like Joe Matarese's wife can afford to live in. But he likes to pretend he's a Philly guy. Meanwhile, he's in the Schaumburg of New Jersey.
Well, Joe kind of claims both. He claims New Jersey and Philly.
Yes. Which I get it. Philly's right on the border, and a lot of the suburbs are in New Jersey.
Yeah.
But he really is leaning into the Philly thing way too hard lately. Like, even, you didn't see it, but the promo for his weekend at the Improv, which is just 2 dates, he acts like it was a tour, is him in a full Phillies jersey.
Oh, good. Yeah.
The hat,
well, thank God football season's almost back.
It's so fucking retarded. Hellraiser69, Stuttering Retard is live again. Same shit as last night. I hope he knows what he's doing violates YouTube's terms of service. Well, I'm sure someone will tell him. Is that true, Hellraiser69? So he got some super chat money and went, oh, this is too easy. I can just do this every night.
That'd be cool.
Interesting. That'd be cool. I guess. John's Earmites, remember for 22 months, says, here's my milestone chat, the most worthless of the chat interruptions. So, how you guys doing? Good, buddy. It's Pride Month. We're in a good mood. Hamilton Burger, the person whose job it is to wedge those fatties into the ride is the Disney cast member who Bob Iger hates the way Portnoy hates Blind Mike. Happy? Yes, thank you.
Now I get it.
Now I get it. Like, because you wrote before, like, B.I. hates, like, oh, God. Yes, thank you for explaining that, because we were both lost.
Yes.
All right, Mike's got a heart out. So
I'm running out of time here, and I got to talk about these Woke Dad videos.
We got to move. We got some Woke Dad stuff to get to. Stop interrupting the show with your generous support. We can't stand it. We can't take it anymore. Oh, my gosh, I almost played it without the stinger.
Sitting in my mobile coffee shop,
making videos about my transvestite children for TikTok.
Speaking of his children, check this out.
I'm getting ready for bed, but I wanted to share with you a little bit of pure joy, a little bit of joy from my life. Today I did a dad-son date with my son, something I do with both of my kids.
Dad,
why would you call it a date? Why is it? What's this thing with children? It's so weird. A dad-son date?
Also, his kids are in like high school. They're not.
You went out to eat with your son. It's not a date. What's wrong? He's like.
Do you think the kid is doing that too? Like, oh, I just went on a date with daddy. Like,
yep. As he's getting pushed into a locker.
But just a little time, the two of us together, and we went to one of our favorite spots. And as we were sitting there waiting for our food, we had just ordered. We were doing what we always do. My kids are the joy in my life, so we were joking and laughing. And I think anybody who sees us from a million miles away can tell, well, first, that I love my kids more than anything, and also that my kids love spending time with me. And
I got news for you, Dan. No one's thinking about it, particularly from a million miles away. But even within 1 mile, no one's looking at you and thinking about your relationship with your children.
Talk about main character syndrome. And it's going to get worse. But let me just point out, I'm starting to not believe his children like him. The more he talks about how much his kids love him because he's such a great dad.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to talk about how he showed his kids Almost Famous and they loved the movie because that's the next step here. This is getting weird.
All right, so everyone's looking at him going, God, he's such a great dad. Look at him.
Yeah, listen to this. This gets wild. This is next level, even for Dan.
I'm, of course, wearing a shirt that says "Fight for those without your privilege," and I'm wearing an LGBTQ support ally bracelet.
Sweet.
And
do you have any fucking T-shirts, Dan? Do you have any fucking black T-shirts?
Nope. Everything's a political message. Everything has to try to win people over or prove that he's more woke than them. He's incredible.
I just started to look around and notice that the people around us were all sort of just staring with big smiles on their faces. And in that moment, I realized, as a dad to a kid in the LGBTQIA community, that there were so many members of that community around me and just taking joy from the experience that we were having together.
Whoa! Mike, this guy is making some wild leaps. He's determined what other people are thinking and the emotions that they're feeling. He's got it all figured out.
Does he say, I forget, they're just at a restaurant?
They're at a restaurant, their favorite restaurant.
Okay, their favorite restaurant. And so a circle of gays and trans huddle around him to observe him? Is that what's happening?
They're all staring and smiling.
How does he know these people are gay, by the way?
Well, I mean, Mike, you know.
Sucking and fucking at this restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, there's some, blue hair. And,
I don't think Dan would say that makes you gay necessarily. But it's interesting. It's interesting that he spots them like that.
The old earring in the right ear thing. There's a few giveaways.
Dale's like, hey, all these gays. They're like, hey, fuck you, pal.
Isn't it amazing how much he judges people?
Yeah.
It's nonstop determining who people are. Like, he looks at a group of people and he automatically determines their backstory.
They were all Trump supporters. They're all gay.
It's incredible.
That sudden realization that so many of those people didn't have what I have with my son and what I have with my daughter. They never had growing up with their...
Wow. The assumptions that he's making here. All that happened was him and his kid were laughing at dinner. They were probably being obnoxious. People are looking over like, what are these people doing? And he goes, yeah, these poor people, they grew up gay and trans and their parents didn't accept them like I do.
We definitely don't live in a time where you can safely assume that a gay person has been exiled by their parents.
Correct.
We don't live in that time anymore, which is a great thing. Daniel should be happy about that. But he's like, oh, this person, I'm just assuming this person's gay by the way they look. Yep. And they also probably don't speak to their parents.
Right. And also, I don't know if you know this, but when you're gay and trans, you get joy by seeing other gay and trans people having joy.
Look at it's one of us having dinner with the greatest dad of all time.
This is so insane.
Parents. So if it brings you some joy today, I need you to know that people like me exist. That I love my kids.
Oh, the fucking narcissism here.
What?
Guys, I want you to know before you go to bed tonight that good news, people like me exist. Fuck you. Wow.
Maybe this is because I can't see. I can't see the expressions of utter ecstasy on their faces. But when I go out to dinner with my girlfriend, I've never once had the thought, and this is a little sad now that I'm thinking about this. I never think like, oh, all the other women in this restaurant are looking at me like, man, that girl is the luckiest girl in the world.
You don't have that thought,
with Mike Geary.
You don't have that thought?
I don't imagine anyone with a normal functioning brain has ever had that thought.
I love when people are looking over at me and Jen because I'm being a horse's ass and they go, she married a podcaster. What a lucky gal. What a lucky gal.
I don't know.
Eddie
Do
drinks
you
too
people
much?
do you people with eyes look at other tables and just like assess their entire lives immediately
No.
like that?
No.
Okay,
Definitely
so it's not. I'm not missing out.
The reason why you look over at a table if you're in a restaurant, especially a crowded restaurant, is because they're being obnoxious.
Right.
I shoot daggers at people when if someone's like playing their fucking phone, they're watching videos or FaceTiming with someone, I shoot daggers. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh. And people look back at you and go, "That guy doesn't talk to his parents."
It's unconditionally, and there are a lot of us. I'm sorry if any of you didn't get to live that life with that joy.
Wow.
But we got your back now. We support you now. We love you now. And you deserve the joy just as much as everyone else.
You know what Dan needs more than anything?
What's that?
He needs a gay guy to tell him to fuck off. You know, or a trans person just be like, dude, we don't need you. You're really harshing our butts.
You're
over here."
pandering to us. You're
Yes.
talking to us like we're mentally challenged or
Right.
something.
Yeah. Like we can't survive in this world. We're good, man.
It is. It's criminally insulting what Dan is saying to these people, and also just the idea that people are looking at him. How would he know that what they're thinking when they look at him is what a great father he is? Where is he getting this?
He knows what they're thinking, what they're feeling, and what their backstory is.
Yeah.
That's amazing. This guy must be so intuitive. All right, let's get an update on the art studio, Mike. We got to keep moving here.
It's about time, yeah.
When I first started renovating this space, this art studio that's going to support kids in vulnerable communities, I didn't have any idea.
Gonna support Jesus, Mike. How long have we been on this beat?
One day, don't worry, get baby
God
steps.
damn.
It takes a village. And,
Oh my! It takes forever, is what it takes.
I had a dream and I was passionate about it. I had no idea it was going to cost so much or take so much time. But when you get into
Because you're a poor planner.
the places like this where you need potter's wheels and you need kilns and stuff, that stuff gets expensive. Now my first purchase...
Shit, you need that for an art studio? Well, that took 2 years for you to figure out.
He needs potter wheels and kilns. How about heat and a roof? Let's not forget those things. They are also necessary for your art studio.
Imagine being over 2 years at this point of building an art studio, and this week he's like, damn it, I need a potter's wheel. Son of a bitch.
This was that kiln right there, which is almost 60 years old. And it worked for a while. But if you know anything about kilns, something like that, you need to babysit. It takes about 12 hours to do a full firing on that kiln, and you need to be there to turn the temperature up and to watch it. And when all of the switches started to go on it and a lot of the electrical started to go on it, I knew that if I was going to teach kids in this space, I needed something newer and bigger and better. So I ordered this L&L kiln in January, and it just showed up. It just arrived. This is scary, though. This is terrifying because these things cost a ton of money.
This is crazy to me.
Hint, hint.
So Dan owned that kiln he was talking about, the 60-year-old kiln. And then someone donated a kiln to him that he's been using for all of his pottery all this time. And now he's gone out and bought a better kiln that cost him a ton of money, even though he already has one. Do you remember when, I forget what it was like a furnace or something, he needed to be replaced?
Oh,
and
yes.
he came out and just like, guys, I didn't realize this, but this is going to cost over $10,000. I don't have that in my budget. I don't know how we're going to pull this off. And now he's frivolously buying things that he already has?
Guys, bad news. I've hit a bit of a snag. We're 2 years into the art studio, and I'm starting to realize stuff costs money. And that wasn't part of my plan.
This is crazy.
And it takes a lot out of my budget to be able to do stuff like this.
Right.
I'm sharing all of this with
And this is not for the kids, by the way. The kids don't care about mugs. This is all for Dan. Dan's the one who's making all the mugs and selling them.
Yeah. The pottery wheel isn't for the 5-year-olds.
He's like, here's some crayons. Here's some crayons and a coloring book, idiot. Now I'm going to go make some pottery.
No, he's giving those to the homeless. Remember?
Oh, yeah. We'll get
None
into
of
that.
this is distributed correctly.
We'll get into that, yeah.
because I don't want you to think that I'm not still working on this space, but things like this, they take a big hit out of my budget. I need to save up a little bit more in order to do the next renovation because I'm pretty much trying to do this just me. It's just a me show. There are a lot of kids out there in need, And I'm going to support a lot of those kids. I already do with my other actions. But this space is going to be something phenomenal. It's going to be beautiful. And it's going to keep kids happy, healthy, and safe.
How is this place going to keep kids healthy and safe? How is that possible? What's he talking about?
Well, it won't be safe because the walls are going to collapse. So they'll basically be outside.
And also, they'll go other places. They won't just only be in this art studio.
I forgot I've announced this now, so I can say it. I bit my tongue a few times when Daniel would talk about the art studio. I had a fucking house built in like 6 months.
So it is doable, is what you're saying.
This guy can't build a room?
Even on a podcaster's budget, you could have a house built, is what you're telling
Yes.
us. It's crazy, right?
Jesus Christ, Daniel.
Thank you for being patient. And thank you for following along on this journey.
Oh, thanks for the update, Dan. We were all wondering what was going on with the art studio.
The kids that were kids when this art studio began are adults now. They're like,
Right.
no, we've moved on. We can't even use it anymore.
I'm no longer into coloring books, Dad. I mean, it was when you told me this 7 years ago, I was like, all right, sweet.
I had high hopes, but
yeah, but now I just don't give a shit anymore. I'm more into drinking beers and hanging out with girls, but all right. All right. Oh, this is an interesting video. As you know, Dan used to wear a shirt, he might still, that says free vaccinated dad hugs.
Wasn't that only a couple weeks ago? Maybe it was an old video we watched.
It wasn't
I thought
that
it was
long
only
ago.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. He was talking about this shirt, free vaccinated dad hugs. He's all proud of himself because he's vaccinated and he gives dad hugs to children.
He's a heck of a hugger.
Yep.
Parenting today isn't easy, but there are some things I just would never do. And I got to teach another parent lesson today, probably in the safest possible way. I'm going to share it with you because I think I need for all of you to hear this and to see this. But I mean, I've got these bracelets, right? I got a bunch of them and I wear them because I'm handing them out to kids when I see them. I keep a couple on me. Honestly, anybody who's having a bad day, like, these are super positive. They all say, like, I'm talented, I'm unique, I'm loved, and it really
how
brings
do
a
you
smile
know
to
if these people are they're strangers? How do you know if they're having a bad day?
What kind of slow gets cheered up by having a bracelet that says I am talented on it?
And if you're having a real bad day and a stranger goes, hey, you want a bracelet? You go, fuck off.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then later you're like, ah, shit, I was in a bad mood. I shouldn't have said that to that guy. But
Probably
you're not
just
like,
be
yay,
nice.
bracelet.
He literally has a bracelet on his own wrist that says I am smart. There is not a single smart person alive who would wear a bracelet that says I am smart on it. You have to be a fucking moron to do that. What is going on with this guy?
On the other side, it's his address in case he gets lost.
the people's face. Well, I saw a kid a little bit earlier who was having a rough go at today. So I asked the parent for consent to be able to offer one of the bracelets. I said, hey, is it all right if I give them a bracelet? Because that's important.
You have to use the word consent. You can just say I asked the parent if it was okay.
I mean, you don't want to give anything to a kid.
The words he uses about children, date, consent, these are adult themes here. Wow.
If a parent isn't approving of it, that can end up pretty negative. But they said yes, so I asked what color that kid would like. I handed over the bracelet. They changed their mood. They were so excited, and the parent said, that was so nice of him. Why don't you go give him a hug? And my immediate response was, no!
I'm not a pervert.
Wait a second. Is Dan getting some feedback that he's trying to change the narrative on? It sounds like
we're doing it to all these people. Cerasani's distancing himself from Schomburg.
Guys, when I ask like a Papa's ass, I'm just joking, and then we got woke Dan over here. Hey, when I talk about hugging children, I'm not even into that. Okay.
I like the idea that he's like repulsed by it. He's like, well, I certainly don't have a shirt that says free hugs, if that's what you're thinking, lady.
I don't talk about hugging children, strangers, by the way, all the time on my TikTok. He does all the time.
Yes.
My immediate response was that because you don't want to set a bad precedent for your kid. You don't want to teach them that it's okay to hug a complete and total stranger because they gave them something in a store, out in the wild, out in public. You don't want your kids to take candy from the guy in the van and get in the van. Like, you just don't do that.
I'm sorry, is that you?
Now,
yes.
In this scenario?
In this scenario, he is the predator that the parents need to protect their children from. Correct. He's not understanding that, obviously.
I want more than anything for you to set good precedents for keeping your kids safe. Consent is king.
Consent.
But kids don't need to share affection towards strangers just for doing something nice. Keep your kids safe. Please, keep your kids safe.
Is the message keep your kids away from me? Is that what
Mike,
he's
it's funny you say that. I wrote down, was the lesson a lesson for parents and strangers, or was it Dan patting himself on the back again? Because I can't keep up with this. The way it started is just like I cheer kids up because I got these bracelets. It says, I ain't stupid. And I hand it to the kid and they get all excited.
There was a great, when Carlos Mencia was on Tiger Belly, Bobby Lee's podcast,
Yep.
The Joe Rogan joke stealing stuff came up. And Carlos Mencia was trying to lay out a scenario, and he goes, like, say I'm a rapist. And I'm like, Carlos, why is this the analogy you're using? Stop saying that.
What an idiot. Yeah. Stop putting that out into the ethos, you idiots.
Yeah.
One more woke dad. We got to wrap up pretty quickly here. Mike's got another obligation tonight.
Menner's calls, baby.
He's a busy guy.
I was just out picking up food that I had ordered with my 2 kids, and the woman in front of me in line, this little older lady, called me the F slur.
That's the one. That's the one.
I laughed out loud.
Me
I was
too.
like, get her on the show. Let's go. She sounds awesome.
As I said, I've seen so many of these clips that it's rare one takes me by surprise.
Yeah, it's
but
great.
that really got
I'm
me.
standing in line for food, picking up some food for my family, and this old lady turns around and just goes, hey, you F slur.
For the LGBTQIA community. Now, the irony there is that I'm just a cis straight dude. But my 2 kids that were with me, they're both
I'm not an F slur. My kids are.
They're
Take
both
that.
you know what.
members of that community. And I mean, I suppose she made that assumption because of my bracelets. This one says I'm an ally.
You know what,
This
lady?
is-
Fair assumption.
Dude, these fucking bracelets, man. I can't. I can't with these bracelets. What's
I gotta
this guy
say,
doing?
ma'am, you're from a different time, but I get the assumption, you know?
Dan, I don't talk to Dan directly very often on the show. Dan, fuck your bracelets. They're lame AF. Stop it with this.
They're getting you hate crimed out there.
I'm talented, I'm loved, and I'm smart, and I hand these out to people just to show a little kindness, a little positivity. So the easiest way for me to carry them with me is just on my wrist. I'm assuming she took one look at those.
That's what an
and made-
8-year-old does, by the way.
Yes.
Like an 8-year-old is like, oh, I'm carrying around bracelets to give to people. And you're like, oh, aren't you sweet? This is a 40-something-year-old man carrying bracelets to give out to people.
Yeah, and don't get me started on the toe rings.
I do have to tell you, like, deep down in my heart, I know that no old lady turned around and called him the F word.
Of course not.
But I want it to be true so bad. You know, don't you just want to believe sometimes?
It's the funniest thing that could have happened to him. There's no way. There's no way that happened.
That's his best lie. It's the one I'm willing to. You know, I want to believe it's true. I'm just going to start saying
An
it.
assumption. Do you know what my response was? Happy Pride. Do you know why? Because existence is resistance. For people like her, whoever she thought I was, or whatever assumptions she made about me.
Well, she didn't call you a kid toucher, which is what we do on this show. So it could have been worse, I suppose.
So
Somebody
some
like
lady,
me.
hold on, in front of your kids, some lady was like, "Hey, you fucking homo."
Yeah.
And you were like, "All right, ma'am, have a nice day."
And a happy Pride to you as well,
and
man.
the kids are just like, I guess that's cool to say to people. I don't know.
Well, Dan was being the bigger fruit that day.
She made about me. Somebody like me existing is enough for her to stew in her hate for the rest of her life, and the fact that I'm not all stirred up by her chaotic bigotry is enough to make her mad too. I'm not just an ally.
Chaotic bigotry would be a good name for a stand-up special.
Ooh, that is
that,
great.
Write that one down. I would watch that.
I'm going to tell Louis J. Gomez. I feel like that belongs to him.
Yeah, he would like that.
See, I'm an accomplice. I'm going to put myself in the middle of that fire every single time so that people like my kids don't have to take that type of hate. So I tell you what, go show some love today. Happy Pride. Love wins.
It could have
Have a
been
great day.
Could have been a term of endearment, right? Like the N-word is turned into. What's up, Afsler?
Well, you're so clearly one that I feel like we could just say it to each other, no?
Right, yeah. That's how I take that. Because otherwise, that's a wild thing to say in public.
But Daniel, 10 out of 10, 5 stars, excellent job. There was not a lick of fat on that bone. You made up the perfect story. Keep them like that. So there's no ad-libbing. There's no meat on it. Just lady turned around, called me the F word, kept moving. Perfect.
Yep, I love it. Keep those stories coming, Dan. We love them.
Yes.
We do have some voicemails to get to. I'm going to try to hurry through people supporting the show and slowing it down, ruining our days.
Yay, super chat.
Get out of here.
Supertip.gg/WATP is where you go to ruin our days and slow down the show.
Carl asks Cerasani if he and his daughter want to go on a double date with me and my kid.
Yeah. Seriously. What's going on here with
I wonder what the people at the restaurant would think.
You know how much fun those parents are having with their children they're probably also having sex with. Wish my parents were cool.
Darn it, my kiln broke. Anyone knows where I can get another used 60-year-old kiln?
I hear the Germans have a special kiln. Wink, wink.
All right.
Come on. I don't like this reputation.
Mike, I don't like what you're up to anymore, man.
I'm being
You know,
framed.
my dad converted to Judaism. I don't know. I think I made that clear on this show. It's pretty crazy what you're up to.
I guess.
Did I read this one? Yes, I did. Okay. Hamilton Burger, another $2 says, if Angel Reese was in the diner, she'd shoot bricks. I get it. She can't hit the basket.
Yeah.
Drunk Engineer, Dan could have built a studio with money he earned from a lemonade stand by now. It's crazy. KFT, my wife walked in and said, who's the fag on TV? I believe that. That story I believe.
The whole time I was kind of like, can we say fag? Because I wanted to just throw it out there.
It's fine.
It would be so perfect at the timing there.
We're allies. It's fine. The
right,
Black Cast, $2. Mencia stole that rapist joke from Sinbad.
Oh, damn it.
I don't think that's true.
Doesn't sound
Real quick, I want you to hear these voicemails because people call my show to talk to you because no one knows how to get in touch with you, Mike.
This is for Blind Mike on Who Are These Socials. Mike, I listened to your interview with Patrick Melton. I'm not incredibly aware of Patrick. I've heard some of the Red Bar stuff, and then after listening to him talk, I kind of just think like, oh, there's a mealy-mouthed faggot. But that was a good interview. Yeah.
Well, thank you, buddy.
I'll see you at school tomorrow.
Oh, no, that's not good. I thought it was great when you had Patrick Melton on because, he's been doing it for 20 years. I only learned about him in the last couple of years, so I didn't know a lot of the backstory.
I knew, like I said, I knew of him from Red Bar, but didn't really know a lot about him. So then when I started to learn more through like your dealings with him and everything, I was interested. And then someone mentioned that he'd been podcasting for 20 years. I think I could tell he was kind of like, you want to interview me? Like you just want to talk to me? But
yeah,
he was surprised by it. But right. I was just interested. I had a lot of questions, so I thought it was a good one.
Well, the thing that I didn't know about, because we hear our buddy Aaron Imholt say that Red Bar ran him off the internet and crushed him and all this stuff. It was interesting to hear Patrick explain that I was touring in Europe doing stand-up, and so I wasn't podcasting as often.
Well, the interesting part of that I never knew they had a relationship.
Yeah,
I didn't know they kind of knew each other. So that was the most interesting part to me.
Right. Mike, it is 8:00, so I got some voicemails, but I can hit these without you if you got to run.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course, buddy.
I appreciate it, pal.
Yeah, man.
Guys, I'll miss you. Have the day you deserve.
BlindMikeProject.net. No, I'm sorry, BlindMike.net. But watch
Close enough.
No. BlindMike.net. But watch Blind Mike Project this Sunday because he's going to give us the scoop on all this Portnoy.
If you're wondering why Portnoy hates me, I'm going to try to explain it as best I can.
Beautiful. I'll be tuned in.
See you, buddy. Thank you.
See you, man. All right. It's just us now. It's just us. Is this weird?
Hi, it's callback Curtis. Could I leave a voicemail for Who Are These Socials?
Please do.
Actually, can I leave 1,000 voicemails?
Okay.
Yeah, I know 1,000 homeless guys want to call Carl fag.
All right. I see what you did there.
This is for Who Are These Socials? I'm an episode behind, sorry, but Joe Matarese doing the AI version of himself and doing comedy about the circles in South Jersey is so hyper local. It's crazy. It just shows the type of comedian that this guy is. He's playing for such a small audience. It's crazy. He mentioning the Ellisburg Circle. Nobody gets that reference unless they grew up in the area in Cherry Hill. Oh, God. Gotta love Joe Matarese. See it.
Yet Joe seems to be going for a smaller audience. You don't see this very often, where a stand-up comic who has been on TV and the Howard Stern show and has all these credits and then gets older and goes, you know what? I want to slice my audience down to a very niche person who grew up at the same time that I grew up in the same place that I grew up, and we'll just reference those things. You know, maybe this would be good for like a high school reunion if you wanted to do a set there, but other than that, it's not a great strategy.
Holy shit. Calling for WATS again. Called too quick. Joe Matarese, he referenced two clubs, California East and Enchante.
Yeah.
It gets more than hyperlocal if that's your references. People in Philly don't understand what they are. You had to live in the Cherry Hill, Marlton, and I know I'm getting a little specific, area in a certain 4 to 5 year window to understand what that even means. This guy's lost it. Keep covering him. He's the greatest. You guys are the best. Love Blind Mike. See ya.
Love Blind Mike as well. Someone in the chat is saying that Blind Mike is going over to the Minifan Network. If you want to go see what Blind Mike is up to and why he had to rush off of this show.
Hey, this is for Who Are These Socials? KFT here. Fucking Joe Matarese. The top three Phillies all the time. He picked Pete Rose, who was on the team for 3 years. Lenny Dykstra was on the team for a couple of years, didn't do shit. And I forget who fucking Chase Utley. All right, Chase Utley, I'll give him. But Mike fucking Schmidt, Steve Carlton, Richie Ashburn, like Hall of Famers, and he picks the three guys who are not in the Hall of Fame. He is a fucking retard. Sorry, R word. We can't say that anymore. Obama banned it. So, all right. Well, anyway, screw the J's, the N's, and the R's. Have a good day. Mike, ...
Oh, shit. ... That's, probably have to cut that out in post. Yeah, I think that Joe Matarese is too cool to pick Mike Schmidt. Like, everyone knows Mike Schmidt. So I go a little deeper. Chase Utley. Anyway, that whole thing was dumb.
It's Daniel Alexander. I wish I could find out where his coffee shop is so I could visit it in person. That would be great. Fucking take a dump in a solo cup and throw it out. Just drop it off. It would be hilarious. Or
don't do that.
You could have like $15, you take a shit and then squeeze it in between, make like a poo quesadilla with money. And just say, oh, you were so nice to me. Thank you for spreading your kindness. Here, have a tip. Just hand him a wad of money. Shit.
All right, yeah, let's not do any of that to our buddy Dan Alexander. He deserves to live his life in peace and enjoy himself. Guys, whoareThese.com is where you want to go to find all things Who Are These podcasts, Who Are These socials, Who Are These broadcasters who did their show yesterday instead of on Tuesday of this week. We'll be live in Boston June 21st. We got a handful of tickets left. Go to WTPLive.com for the tickets to that. And, of course, you can always support this show, patreon.com/Who Are These podcasts. We put out a bonus show just this week, Living in the Past with Stuttering John. We checked out an episode from 2018 before the Dabbleverse existed. We also found John being interviewed on Joe Coy's podcast, The Coy Pond, back in 2017. And it is wild to watch Joe Coy realize he's dealing with an idiot in real time as he's talking to Stuttering John, who's just a guest on his show, and he assumes he's got talent and knows how to be media savvy. He's been on the radio and TV, and he quickly realizes that not the case. So check that out, patreon.com/Who Are These podcasts. Thank you all for being here for this show. And as Mike would say, have the day you deserve.
Anyway, social media, I'll catch you later, man.
Who are these socials?
That's what this audience wants to hear. They're like, whoa!
Who are these
socials.
I'm the one who should apologize.
Folks, what you are about to see is real.
With Karl.
Okay, we got it.
And Blind Mike.